Are you looking for the best pickleball paddle to buy right now? Well, in this video, I'm going to break it down for you so that you will be able to get the best pickleball paddle that fits your play style. I'm going to break it down by shape, and I'm going to break it down by control, all court, and power for each of those shapes. And I've gone through hundreds of pickleball paddles this year. I've played them all. I found the best ones for you. This is just a small portion of my collection right here, but I want to give you the best information to help you elevate your pickleball game. So let's get to it, and just take a second right now to smash that subscribe in case you are not subscribed already, so you can stay tuned because I have some great stuff planned for 2025. You are going to love it. So let's jump in first. I'm going to go with the hybrids first. That's been my favorite shape of the year, and I think it would be the shape of the year with the most paddle launches. So we'll jump in that first, and we'll start with control. So let's just get right into it. Ooh, yeah, the bread and butter Invader. Now this one is a little spicy looking, right? It comes with that hot sauce if you're one of the first 1,000, and honestly just looks so cool. You are not going to have a problem finding your paddle on the paddle rack with the bread and butter Invader. So, you know, no problem. This thing just does control so well. Like, usually there's a little bit of an adjustment period when I pick up a paddle and start playing, but this one just felt so natural. I had some of the best shot placement with this paddle. I just had amazing control on the dinks. This paddle with the polyester carbon fiber blend here feels so soft, but it has the fiberglass layer letting you activate a little power and pop, so it's not just, you know, a pillow out there and not able to finish the job. I just think with the sweet spot on this thing and the placement, the shot placement, the elite spin, this is just an amazing control hybrid. Plenty of room for two-handed backhands as well. And I will mention right now for my weight setup and my grips, just want to talk about it real quick. We got the Widebody tungsten tape. It comes in 0.5 grams per inch or 1 gram per inch strips. And then for all the grips I use, I'm using the Widebody tacky grips. They come in a ton of fun colors and some plain colors if that's what you like. But just throughout the video, when I'm mentioning that weight setup, that's what I'm using. Link in the description, of course. And at this price, $162.50, good mid-range price for a high quality, great design, great packaging paddle. I used 5 inches of the 0.5 gram per inch strip tungsten tape here. And that was just to give it a little boost in power. It doesn't need it for the stability. I just want to give it a boost in power just because that's probably the area it lacks most for this paddle. And that's why I put it in the best control category. But still, you get decent pop and decent power with that fiberglass layer in there. I just thought it could use a little bit more. But you could play this stock, no problem. My pick for best control hybrid, hands down. Now let's move on to the best all-court hybrid. All right, the best all-court hybrid. I don't think it's a big surprise if you watch my channel or if you watch anyone's review channel, because the Honolulu J2K has just been the fire paddle of the year, right? It's just been, whew. You know, once I think I was one of the first to review it, and after I reviewed it, it just started popping off. And I think I called the shot, like, oh, this could be paddle of the year. And yeah, I think it's safe to say it's paddle of the year. But its brother, or should we say twin, the J2 Ti, honestly, I'm going to give them a shared spot here in the best all court. They play very similar, but some subtle differences, right? So let's just talk about the J2K. Just a great all-around all-court paddle. Amazing to play stock, super stable. Has decent power and pop, amazing control. It just does everything well. Great spin too. Has a not a stiff feel, but it's like an average soft stiffness if you put like a scale of soft to stiff. So, you know, just that average thermoform feeling paddle, but just amazing. Plays so well, just does everything you want it to do with that big sweet spot, and very stable with that great power, with a good enough power and pop combo to get the job done. Now the J2 Ti, if you want something that feels super soft but still has decent power and pop with that amazing sweet spot, J2 Ti would be the reason to switch from the J2K. to the J2 Ti. Also, it pockets the ball a little bit more dwell time. I know some people like that, so that's why the J2 Ti had to be mentioned here. They're going to share the spot. These are both just amazing paddles. I can't say enough good things about these two. So let's go on to the best power hybrid, which is also one of my favorites of the year. The Spartus Olympus is easily my favorite power hybrid of the year and is, you know, just right there with the Honolulu J2K and paddle of the year. Those two are my main paddles that I still use, and I absolutely love the Spartus Olympus. Power and pop combo that is just right for me. Like, it has enough pop, like the pop level is like just at that level where I'm like, that's all I need to finish those counters. I don't want any more because I would sacrifice control. And the power, when you get those full swings, it's enough to put the ball away. And, you know, stock 110 swing weight, I mean, super maneuverable if you really, really want to keep it stock. It feels great when you hit that sweet spot. You just can feel it when you're hitting those overheads and good drives. You can feel that ball just launching off. I love it. I love it. I love it. Enough room for two-handed backhands as well. I do a little bit of an aggressive weight setup. I put 9 inches of 0.5 gram per inch tungsten tape from the bottom corner to the top corner. Now, I was experimenting with some different setups. I did actually move this down, start at the bottom of that throat, and then go up to like halfway. I did like that setup too. So if you're looking for something less aggressive, I would go start at that handle, go up to about halfway there, to the middle of the face of the paddle. Or you can do 3 grams right here, whatever, or 3 grams in the middle, whatever you want to do. But yeah, this is my setup. It is an aggressive one. I am okay getting the swing weight up to that 120 mark with the paddle. It just plays so well right there. But yeah, stock plays well. But stock, it does have some stability issues a little bit. So that's why I do recommend adding a little bit of weight to activate the full potential of this paddle. But absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I do have one honorable mention here. So my one honorable mention for that power hybrid is the Vatic Saga Flash. Not as poppy as the Olympus, not as powerful, has a very soft feel, but the power level is just below the Olympus. But if you want something that's less poppy, but still has good put away power, Vatic Saga Flash, definitely an option for you if you're still looking to get the power of a hybrid right here. Also, great design, love it. That's all I have for the hybrids right now. So if you are looking to get a hybrid, those are my recommendations. Let's move on to the wide body. And the wide bodies actually pushed the hybrids, you know, this year. So it's the year of the wide body versus hybrid battle. Let's check out what we got with the wide bodies. All right, let's get into the best control wide body, also my best value paddle of the year. The 11.624 Jelly Bean, which will be called the Pegasus from now on. So if you're watching this video and you're like, where's the Monarch? I can't find it on their website. It's called the Pegasus now. They had to do a name change. Same paddle, same construction, everything's the same. It's just going to be called the Jelly Bean Pegasus. That will be their future wide body shape name. Sorry for the confusion, but at $89 after the code all drop, this is just, oh, I love this paddle. It just feels so good. It's a reset machine, super stable, super soft, love the feeling, and you still get a good, decent power for a Gen 1.5 paddle because it has that fiberglass layer, which really helps add some pop and power. So it's not just, you know, a control reset machine. It still has some offensive capability, especially if you add some weight. I personally recommend adding a 3 gram strip or, you know, a pre-cut strip of, you know, 1 gram per inch strip right here in the middle just to get it a little bit more power. If you're really getting aggressive, you could go all the way up from bottom to the top corner with like a 0.5 gram per inch strip. But yeah, amazing, amazing control paddle, amazing value paddle. If you're looking to get your friend or you're looking to get yourself your first premium paddle and you really want to focus on your shot placement, your control, I would definitely recommend the 11.624 Jelly Bean Peg. Actually, and then I do have one alternative option if you're like, hey, that sounds great, but I want a little bit more offensive capability in my control paddle. Spartus Apollo, hands down, 117 price point right there. Love it. This is the year of the Dragon Edition. A little bit stiffer than the Jelly Bean, and it just has a little bit more pop and power because it's thermoformed. A little bit of a shorter handle as well, as you can see. Not too much, but you can still fit 2 hands on this thing, no problem for your backhands. Oh, you know I love the Spartus Apollo. So if you want something that's just a little bit more expensive, a little bit more offensive capability for a control paddle, get yourself a Spartus Apollo. Let's move on to the best all-court wide body. All right, this one, best all-court, is a late addition to the list, and oh, I love this. This Course Shapeshifter SX. I love this shape too. Flares out a little bit towards the top. This paddle just feels so good, like just the ball connection to the face, and like it just pockets it so well. I feel like it gets really good dwell time and then launches the ball off. So you get really good ratio of like power and pop combo where it's still controllable, but you just get this elite spin. It's decently gritty, but I'm not sure what they do to make the spin so good. But this thing, like your flicks, your rolls at the net, your top spin backhand dinks with this, it feels so good. Super maneuverable too. 108 swing weight, super maneuverable in your hands, super light. You can play this stock no problem if you're a stock player. Personally for me, I'm just adding a little bit, adding 4 grams of that 0.5 gram per inch strip. So not too much here. Starting at the H on the shapeshifter going up. Oh my gosh, just like the stuff you can do with this paddle, it just is awesome. Hands battles with it, great. Drive serves, feels good. It's just a great all-court wide body. I think it's going to be a super popular paddle, and that's why it made my list. This category probably had the most competition for best wide body all-court paddles because it was one of the biggest launches for all the companies this year. But this, I love it so much. Anyway, I have some alternative options, some honorable mentions for you. The Neonic Titanium Flare, which is actually, polyester carbon fiber here. This one is also really, really good all-court combo. Just something about it wasn't as good as the shapeshifters for like control, a little less pop and power, I think. But awesome, and a great price point as well. A little bit cheaper than the shapeshifter. I think this is like 117, 125 around that mark. So this is another excellent option. And then if you want something like poppier and a little stiffer than the shapeshifter, with just a little bit less power, some maybe better looks. The shapeshifter looks amazing, but if you want like a fun design, Bread and Butter Fat Boy, also a great alternative option. And then a little bit more under the radar option here, the Diadem Icon Infinity Max. This one is really fun, has the interchangeable edge guard. This is the edgeless paddle, and this is like their edge guard, edge weight that's interchangeable. You can change it to different colors. This one has like a mint green option. Very fun, good pop and power combo. A little bit shorter though, it's 15.67 inches, so I think that's the one place that's going to kind of hold it back, a little bit of a niche paddle, but very fun paddle to play with. I love this in hands battles. That's all I have for the all courts. Ton of good all courts this year. So if I missed your favorite all court wide body, I'm sorry, but those are great options. Let's move on to the best power wide body. Okay, best power wide body is the Paddletech Bantam ESQ C 12.7 millimeters. Fun fact, that ESQ stands for Esquire because this is originally Andrea Coop's paddle that was made for her and only her, and she's a lawyer. That's all I got. Don't ask me any lawyer questions. I don't know anything about that. But this paddle is so much fun to play with. If you're looking for, I think this is the most controllable power paddle on this list, like of all the different power paddles from different categories. Once you fine tune it, super lightweight, the lowest swing weight stock paddle on this list. So if you're someone that likes super lightweight paddle, super maneuverable paddle, but still has really good power and pop combo, then this is going to be the paddle. One of the more expensive paddles on this list at $250. Really just nothing out there can replace this. So $250 is what it costs. There's no other paddle that's an alternative to this that's as good as this, that does what this paddle does. Great spin in the sweet spot, about the ball pockets nicely. It has a great feel. This isn't a thermoform paddle, so you don't have that stiffness from the thermoforming. It gets, you know, elite spin, and it has the best pop around, you know, that's out on the market right now. And then the power is really good too. Now, the weight setup on this is the most unique weight setup I have of any of the paddles. I wrap it in 0.5 gram per inch tungsten tape from this bottom corner, right where the handle meets the edge guard, and I go all the way around, Now, you don't have to do that to get the same effect. I was messing around with some stuff right here, so you'll see like a piece is missing right here. I was going from like the bottom all the way up to the top corner, and then the bottom corner to the top corner. I think if you didn't want to, if the swing weight was too heavy, wrapping it all the way around, I think you go from the bottom corner to the top corner with 0.5 gram per inch tungsten tape, and you'll be just fine. You can still play it stock if you want. You want that ultra maneuverable, highly poppy, still powerful paddle. I think with weight though, you really activate the full potential of this paddle. Excellent. Also, they make this Bantam Annalee Waters paddle, which is basically the same paddle as this, but a shorter handle, 5.25 inch handle. So if you don't want that 5.5 inch handle and you want the 5.25 inch handle, the Annalee Waters 12.7 is also an amazing paddle, just in case you wanted something with a shorter handle. Now, there is one alternative option I have for this, and here's that Annalee Waters 12.7, so you can kind of see the difference there. A little bit different of a head shape there, and obviously a different length handle. Also, you get the Annalee Waters Signature Edition, which is really cool, So, my one alternative option is the Neonic Flare Prime X. Now, this is also a much cheaper option, and this one hits pretty hard, just not, it doesn't have the same pop and power combo as the Paddletech ESQ. But if you're looking for more control and you still want a good power pop profile, this is a great option. So check that out. If you're like, hey, I'm a little worried if I can control the ESQ, get the Neonic Flare Prime X instead. But anyway, both great options. That wraps up the best wide bodies, and now let's get to the best elongated paddles. All right, the bread and butter Shogun is now my best control elongated. The swing weight for these elongateds, obviously, you know, swing weights are going to get higher as the shapes get longer. I found that my shot placement with this paddle and my resets are just so good. So that's why I named it my best control elongated paddle right now. Obviously, great design as well with that carbon fiber polyester blend. And, you know, not the longest handle for an elongated, still room for two-handed backhands for me. Plays really well stock. I think it benefits a little bit from 3 grams there at the bottom corners. You don't have to. If you're like, hey, that swing weight's already getting high for me. Still pretty stable in its stock form, even though the twist weight is a little bit lower. I just love how this feels. It has, you know, that polyester springy feel. The resets are very consistent. The ball coming off the face of the paddle is very consistent, gets great spin. And I just place my shots so well with this paddle, and it still has enough pop and power that the paddle is not left, you know, it's not like it can't be an offensive weapon as well. So the Shogun takes my spot for the best control elongated paddle. Let's move on to the best all-court. Vedic Saga V7, best all-court for me. With the very soft feeling and not too poppy, and the great finishing power of this paddle, and great price point too at $139. Absolutely love this paddle. Great design. Enough room for two-handed backhands. Also comes in a longer handle option. You're going to get a smaller face with that. This is 5.3 inch handle. Longer option comes at 5.7 if that interests you. This paddle is just great for someone that doesn't want too poppy of a paddle, wants great control, and then wants that great finishing power. You know, just a higher swing weight at 120. Honestly, it just kind of like not that bad for an elongated, but just keep that in mind. But honestly, this just plays really, really well. Great control with the power finishing combo. Can't say many bad things about this paddle, and that's why it just makes my best all-court paddles for the year. Let's move on to the best power paddle. Best power elongated for me is the PaddleTech TKOC 12.7 millimeter. Just, you know, at that low swing weight for a power paddle, for an elongated paddle, awesome. Super maneuverable, super customizable. I put 3 grams right here at the bottom corners, make it a little bit more stable. It just needs a little touch of stability there. But the way, so it does have a smaller sweet spot. That's one thing that's kind of like the downside of this TKOC 12.7. With that extra weight, it does help, but so like in the sweet spot, feels really clean. It does have a little bit of like, you know, stiffer vibration when you hit outside, so like it's not the same as like the ESQ C 12.7 where it feels really, really good most of the time. But it still feels good most of the time. It's just if you're bad at hitting that off-center sweet spot, it's not going to feel the greatest. But combination of being a lightweight paddle with this power and pop combo just isn't matched. And then, you know, like this paddle just performs better, and the quality construction lasts longer than those Gen 3 power paddles. So that's why I have to recommend this as my best power paddle of the year. It just is an amazing blend of pop and power, great quality, and elite spin. Just has that smaller sweet spot downside, but definitely can make it better with adding weight at that low swing weight. So that's what I got for you for the best power elongated paddle of the year. Let's jump to the conclusion and give you my final thoughts on paddles of the year. We're here. We're at the finale. I'm so excited to bring this video to you because I wanted to get out my thoughts on the best paddles right now, break it down in all those categories and shapes so that you can find your best pickleball paddle if you're searching. And I can't wait to you know, keep reviewing and keep finding the best paddles for you. If you have any questions on a paddle comparison, or you're looking for a certain type of paddle, give me a comment down below. I'm happy to help find it for you or help give you a good suggestion. Just let me know what you're looking for and I'll help you find the paddle for you. So at the end of the day, I am crowning the Spartus Olympus and Honolulu J2K as the paddles of the year for me. I have enjoyed them so much, so much, and you know, they're always gonna have a special place in my pickleball memories. So hopefully I can keep playing them as long as I can. But these are my paddles of the year, the Spartus Olympus and the Honolulu J2K. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support this year that everyone has given me. I never thought that I would make it this far, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going stronger. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Helps me grow the channel. Give this video a like if this was helpful for you. And of course, leave any comments down below. I'm happy to hear your thoughts. Tell me what your paddle of the year is, what your favorite paddle, or is, like I said, if you need help, I'm just a comment away and I will help you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great new year, or if you're watching this in 2025, I hope the year has started off awesome for you. I'm signing off. This is my last paddle video. Thank you so much for watching, and go play some pickleball.